Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another day, another week, another edition of 30NSG. On this Tuesday edition, we're going to be talking about a couple of main stories here. We're going to be talking about Destiny, or Bungie, I should say, Marathon Destiny 2, and the final shape release dates delayed and people being laid off. We're going to talk about GTA 6 patent hints at Rockstar's most immersive game yet. And we're going to be talking about 2 months later, Starfield continue to perform is kind of unbelievable. All the topics that we're talking about are in the links down in the description below. So make sure you go check out these articles and hit the like button or whatever, just to give those also the clicks. What's going on, Kylo? What's going on, Jesse Mac? I was going to start a little late this morning. My son was sick last night, and then he wasn't supposed to go to school this morning, but then he went to school this morning, so I had to, he was late, so we had to take him to school, and that's why we started just a little bit. I mean, it's only 5 minutes late, but I was supposed to start at 10:30. I got home a little early, so. But I pride myself on starting on time. So we do these shows Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning till noon Eastern. We just read the news and have a conversation with live chat. If you guys like what we do here, please make sure you hit that like button down below. We also do the upload, so if you missed yesterday's show, you can watch yesterday's show in the full, the full length. Or you can wait till I do the breakout videos. We have a breakout video of Star Wars Outlaws, might be delayed. That came out at 9 o'clock this morning, so make sure you guys go over there, check it out, hit that like button. Helps us out because we are a small channel, and we're trying to get to 2,000 subscribers by the end of the year, so I appreciate it very much. All right. Let's go on, Wreckers. So let's start off with this first one here. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of 30NSG. On today's show, we're going to be talking about Marathon Destiny 2 and the final shape release dates delayed and also layoffs at Bungie. But before I get to this, if you like what we do here, please make sure you share, like, subscribe. We do these Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning till noon Eastern for live chat, and you can have conversations. But if you're watching this after the fact, I appreciate you watching, and make sure you hit that like button down below. All right, so Marathon Destiny 2's final shape release dates delayed. Bungie upcoming Destiny 2 final shape and Marathon have been delayed amidst the developers' layoffs. Now, anonymously insider at Bungie informed Bloomberg reporter Jason Schreier that both the games had recently suffered delays. The Destiny 2 expansion, the final shape, initially had a release window set for February of 2024, and the developer pushed it back until June. Now, Bungie's next game in the pipeline, Marathon, will now release sometime in 2025. In the final shape is the next major expansion for Destiny 2, according to Bungie reveals in August, and the final shape concludes Destiny 2's decade-long Light of Dark saga. Now, additionally, the expansion adds new destinations, a Paled Heart located in the Traveler, and the Paled Heart also contains reference of the previous Destiny 2 locations. The final shape also features a new superior abilities and aspects. Now, Bungie also, other title, Marathon, remains a largely mysterious entity. An extraction shooter reportedly employs a timed oxygen system that players regulate, according to the same report. Now, the system uses a replaceable oxygen canister. Players must be purchased and find around the locations Marathon setting. Now, the report also claimed that the developer planned to make Marathon an ultimate live service. Now, Bungie hit with layoffs. The news comes as employees confirm multiple layoffs at Bungie. It remains unclear how many from what that department of firings occur. According to Schreier's report, an email to staff members from Bungie Chief Executive Officer Pete Parson announced a meeting with remaining employees to discuss today's events. Now, neither Bungie nor Sony or PlayStation released a statement about the situation at the time of writing. Now, Bungie joins a long list of companies in the game industry to suffer layoffs in 2023. Other than PlayStation Studios, also confirmed firings in October. PlayStation Studios Visual Arts Group, Media Molecule, reported multiple layoffs just the last week in September, and The Last of Us developer Naughty Dog confirmed it had let go of several contractors. So, as of reporting this, I believe, because this came out yesterday, obviously we're reporting it today, I believe it's up to 50 people that we know. It's not major. I don't want to say it's not major people, because obviously if it was me or you that we got fired, it would be major, right? It would be major. So I don't want to make it look like I'm saying that it's just layoffs, it's not a big deal, because obviously if that was you or me, it would be a big deal because now you have no job, and it is a big deal. So one of the major things, though, is that they got rid of the composer. They got rid of, like, the community managers. They got rid of, like, legal people. They got rid of people. Maybe it's like a redundancy, right? Maybe Sony, and again, I'm speculating here. I don't know if this is the reason they did it. We don't know if those people that lost their job at Bungie was because of Sony. It might be just because of Bungie, right? It's the end of the year. We know that a lot of companies, kind of get rid of people by the end of the year to save money, to make their books look better, by the for the investors and whatnot. Now, is there turmoil or something? Is the sky falling? I don't think so. I think a lot of people are looking at this and saying there's something really going on with it is bad timing, let me say. Because between just, 3 weeks ago, Jim Ryan retiring, right? Then we have Connie Booth, who is now confirmed fired. Then there's other people within Sony saying that they don't want to work. A lot of studios are not wanting to do the games as service type of stuff. And then you hear Bungie letting go of people. This all comes, if you just hear the story by itself of just Bungie, not a big deal. If you just hear the story of Jim Ryan leaving, not a big deal. If you just hear the story of Connie Booth leaving, not a big deal. And if you just listen to the story of the studios don't really want to do the games of service, not a big deal. But as a whole, there is something there. Now, is Sony going down the tubes? No, not by any means. I think they have to adjust because where the industry is going, they're trying to make moves. And I think they are doing the right moves. And sometimes making the right moves doesn't line up with everybody's ambitions and whatnot. People have to get let go. Some people are not going to come along for the ride when they go to the next chapter in the company's life, right? So let's stick with Bungie here. Bungie, in my opinion, right? This is just my opinion. I've talked about Bungie and Destiny for majority of my streaming career. Okay, we've been streaming since 2014 on other channels, podcasts, and whatnot. I've always said that Bungie has a problem with money. They always have a problem with money. And anytime something happens, they always blame the other person, right? Microsoft was the problem. Bungie was not the problem. Activision was the problem. Bungie was not the problem. The fans are the problem. Bungie's not the problem. And now here we are with Sony. My thing is, I hope Bungie, because if you guys watch my content, I always say that Destiny is my stripper ex-girlfriend. Okay? Basically, she's really hot, but she's got problems. Lots of problems. Bungie happens to be daddy to Destiny. Okay? And Destiny has daddy issues. And Bungie has money issues. They constantly burning through money. And there's always people from the inside have said stuff to me that Bungie has management issues. They've always had management issues. And even to today, or I should say yesterday, community managers come out and said, yeah, management is a problem. Now, sure, maybe it's isolated. Maybe it's just this time they were the problem. And they weren't a problem in 2015. And they weren't a problem in 2016. And they weren't a problem in 2017 and 18 and 19 and 20, right? But now they're the problem. Bungie, for some reason, wants to be a publisher. They want to be the big guys, but they can't hold on to the money, right? We know now that Destiny 1 struggled, even though I love it. It's one of my favorite games of all time. It scored a 76 or 75 on Metacritic, right? Destiny 1, in my opinion, is one of the best games I've ever played in my entire life, okay? They just hooked its teeth into me, okay? But the company itself that made the game, that was very successful, that made $1 billion off of Destiny, the original Destiny, has money issues. And they always leech on to someone to use them to make the company whatever it is. Now, business, I guess, is business. They did it with Activision, then they bought the rights off from Activision, and they wanted to stay on their own, and 2 years later, they got picked up by Sony. And I just hope that Sony doesn't get in bed with Destiny and Bungie, and it starts to pull them down. And then 2 years from now, 3 years from now, we hear that, well, because remember the deal when they got the $3.2 billion, that they still keep the rights of all the stuff, and they are their separate entity. Sony picked them up so they could use them for the games of service stuff. And now the games of service that nobody wants to do seems to be the problem with Sony. Bungie stopped the Last of Us 2 DLC factions because they said it wasn't good enough. We had a conversation last night in stream of if Bungie is the one putting their hands on all the stuff for games of service for Sony coming through the door, and they have the secret sauce, right? Regardless if you like Bungie or if you like Destiny, Destiny is successful. Even though it almost folded during Destiny 2, they're very successful. They have a very hardcore fan base that loves everything they do, and they can never do anything wrong. But if Bungie is looking at all the stuff coming in and making it the secret sauce, are they really going to make the secret sauce for all those other games? Are they really going to, again, Sony bought them, but they can work as their own. They can separate just like they did from Activision. Okay? So is Bungie going to give the secret sauce to Sony? Or I should say, is Bungie going to give the secret sauce to Sony to make these games as services so they're the greatest thing like Destiny, to hook people like Destiny? I don't know. That's for you to decide. And that's what I think is going to happen. I think that they're not going to share the secret sauce, right? So let me know what you guys think in the comments section down below. Do you think that we see more drama coming out of Bungie Studios? Do you think that the more games of service that are coming out, and it has to go through Bungie because Sony paid $3.2 billion for these guys who are, better words is, they're the best at what they do. The live service games that are all going on, Destiny is that king. Right? They have that secret recipe, and are they going to share that secret recipe with Sony and PlayStation for the rest of their games of service games? Again, let me know in the comment section down below. Please make sure you share, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. What's going on, Silent Warrior 76, Eclipse, Water? Good morning, Mo. What's going on? Man, if this was Bethesda, it'd be a national headlines. That's right, Kylo. It would be. It would be. It's confirmed that Connie was fired. I thought it was rumored at this point. No, it's she definitely got fired. I mean, does it really need to be talked about? It doesn't have to be public knowledge. For what, Rose? As far as what I'm talking about, as far as Bungie in the gaming landscape, it's always talked about, especially if it's Microsoft Studio. That's true. I do find it weird. I said it last night. Wouldn't it be weird if, like, you worked at a gas station or something, like you were like a vendor or something, and then all of a sudden on the news, like, 75 vending workers got laid off, and you're like, oh, wait a minute, that's weird. Like, it's like, why do we report this stuff for because it happens all the time, but there's people in the industry that cover video games and video game news, and that's why they cover it. So if there was a vending machine news or gas station news, you would hear about the certain gas stations that are losing employees. There will always be a place in my heart for Destiny 1. I love Destiny. I love Destiny 1. What's going on, Jones? YouTube Lurker, I believe, paid. He did a 50 bomb last night. 50 gifted memberships last night. Well, you could always pay it forward, Jones. You can't pay for your own. You could always spend the money and pay for somebody else. I'm not saying you have to. I'm just saying if you wanted to pay for it. Didn't have to be the public knowledge, but if it's PlayStation, but if it's Microsoft, shot it from the rooftops, right? Yeah, it's a double standard. It's a double standard. I'm going to start reporting on that. My new career path. Yeah. Yeah, you just start random stuff. Gardner fire today in local city. You're like, oh man, that poor that poor Gardner. Exactly. Why do we care or need to know? It's not about do we need to know or why do we care, Rose? It is what it is, right? I mean, obviously, I cover news. People that actually cover the news and get sources and stuff, we're just reading the news and having conversations. I mean, it's not going to make or break my day if people are losing their jobs unless it hits home to myself, all right? It's not going to make or break my day if Sony loses money or Microsoft loses money, but it's just conversation. I don't agree with that at all. I don't see Microsoft business out there either expect stuff they leaked. That's not true. We hear all the time about studios closing down or whatnot. You're always going to get news because there's always going to be someone that leaks information. Right? Besides the Microsoft leaking their own stuff in the court cases and stuff like that, it's a court case. Why do we care about that? Right? Why do we care that Microsoft bought Activision Blizzard King? Why do we care? I don't care. But why is it such a why was everyone covering it for like 2 years? Because people are interested in it. Which is what it is. There's people, how do I put this? People love drama, right? People love drama. People listen to dramas and they're obsessed with it. And then there's people that listen to it and go, no big deal. I'm a person that goes, no big deal. But I like to bring up the conversation of the news, of the drama, right? Because I like to be aware of things, right? Because when someone comes out and says, oh, Bungie's never done this or Destiny's never done that, we know what they've done. We know we have insider information from other reports over the years. Right, we hear all that stuff, right? So if we're going to talk about stuff for Microsoft, and then we're going to talk about stuff about Ubisoft, about Skull and Bones, and we talk about other companies losing their jobs or not developing stuff, I mean, it is what it is. I just don't agree with the double standard bullshit. Either Sony news is out there as well a lot, as if it's a court case with Jim Ryan news, people act like it's just Xbox. No, but see, I think you and Mo right now, are taking, from my outside perspective, we know Mo bleeds green. Okay? And he's taking the defense stand against Microsoft. Right? And you're taking the counterpart of maybe not PlayStation, but you're defending PlayStation right now. Right? And then I'm the mediator in between, where I don't give a shit about either of the companies personally. I just report the news, right? I mean, it's not a double standard. That everything's reported on both sides, which people are supposed to do. Sony picked him up for $3.6 billion, right? It was like 3.3, 3.6, something like that. There's all these billions. 3.2, 3.6. I think it's 3.6, right? Right? So they bought him for 3.6. They came out. I believe Krebsy put a article in yesterday from when they said there wasn't going to be any loss. Let me see if I can find it. Let's see. That's Twitter. What's that? Nine years. That's the message. Where's that one? Is yesterday. Here it is. Article in question. All right. This is from February. This is from February 1st of 2022. Bungie's leadership assures employees Sony deal will not result in layoff or restructuring. I mean, I guess that's false, right? Now, obviously, things change for companies, okay? But let's read a little bit here. For developers working at Destiny 2, Studio Bungie this week started out even more atypical than most during these times. Pandemic prompted remote work. Early Monday morning, employees received a request to attend anonymous-sounding emergency virtual meeting. As the call began, employees were shocked to learn at the same time as the public as a chapter company history was coming to the end. Bungie had been acquired by Sony, the Japanese entertainment electronics company, for $3.6 billion. Though Bungie employees said leadership was assure them there will be absolutely no layoffs and nothing major in terms of restructuring once the Sony deal closes. The acquisition represents a notable shift for Washington-based game developer. For roughly the last 15 years, Bungie's business dealings have been marked by repeated pushes to regain independence and anomaly in the video game industry, right? Oh, yeah, very independent. Microsoft, Activision, Sony, very independent. Being purchased by Microsoft in 2000, the game developer birthed the Halo franchise before splitting from that Titan in 2007. And in 2019, Bungie reached an agreement to partner in its publishing deal since 2010, Activision Blizzard, to regain control of the publishing rights to its Destiny series. Now, for a studio that strives to maintain creative freedom, even while creating a big-budget video games, the Sony buyout is a surprising turn. One firmly a step in the industry pivot towards consolidation, the best exemplified by Microsoft's $68.7 billion Activision Blizzard in January. Now, Bungie employees who spoke with the Washington Post in condition of anonymity, since they were not authorized to discuss the deal with media, expressed concern that Sony might cramp their style despite promises from leadership that the studio will continue to self-publish and creative independence. Some noted that some of the plans might change over time, obviously, as they have the other major video game studios that have been required in the big publishers over the years. Now, Bungie's history of hulking out the multiple publishing deals suggests that developers may not be comfortably fit into somebody else's stable. Developers also expressed the skepticism of equity buyout program seemingly designed to retain staff. Says, I'm honestly not sure how to feel right now, said the current Bungie employee. I definitely didn't see it coming. I'm confident that Bungie desires to remain anonymous, but I really just remains to be seen how they'll all play out over a few years. Ta-da! Cautiously optimistic in the circles, said another. If I remain as independent in the design and direction as our leadership claims, it'll be good, I think. However, Sony-owned studios are not famed for their great working conditions. Okay, that's something deeper inside, huh? So PlayStation subsidiaries like Naughty Dog and Sony's Santa Monica are held high regards, exactly produce cinematic experiences in games like The Last of Us and God of War. But the former studio especially has gained a reputation for pushing passionate creatives to the brink. With nigh endless crunch, Bungie developers fear in the future, which Sony hunger and constantly update live service games forces their noses to the grindstone, though Monday meeting left them feeling that the business as usual for time being. Based on everything that we've heard today, there is no indication that we'll be changing any of our day-to-day practices at Bungie, one current employee said. Even so, consolidation often means change over time in both output and culture, and that's where uncertainty lies. And I think this is where it lies now, right? So it's not clear how much they might plug into Sony's talent ecosystem as time goes on, said one current Bungie employee. Another expressed excitement and possibility of collaborating with other studios, just simply from its own standpoint as a developer, having access to wealth and knowledge, also not only if Sony has it, but also other studios under their umbrella. They don't have a lot of, I mean, obviously, you can move over and ask questions and stuff like that, but they don't have as many studios as other like an Embracer or Microsoft. As far as Bungie employees can tell, it means efforts to improve Bungie's culture will also remain undisturbed. In December of 2021, IGN published a report detailing a year's spanning history of the issues including Crunch Boys club behavior and also somatic inequalities. And also employees cited to report of Bungie's leadership had begun steering the ship into a better direction. There will still be room for improvement since the employees tell that the post-Bungie leadership has acknowledged the article publicly and privately in addition to setting up regular listening sessions. can also share thoughts in the wake of Sony's buyout. Employees hope to see a push for better health and continue. Leadership may be a big promise in December to improve the safety of our staff and improve culture, as Ask is also held task. And the employee said, I'm hoping that they will also follow through and not lose sight in light of Sony's stacks of cash. So, in an interview of GameBiz, Industry.biz, Sony Interactive Entertainment CEO Jim Ryan praised Bungie's response to the report, though it did not offer indication of any of Sony would take fostering a better culture within the studio. This is also an area of Sony takes credible seriously, Ryan said. We also hold ourselves extremely high standards throughout the organization with the business and the partner, and this is something that we have incredibly sensitive to right from the start of conversation. Bungie employees also have an incentive to stick around. While many of the studio's previous held companies' equity in form of restrict stock units, Sony plans to buy out those shares, and Bungie employees told the Post that with the uninvested stocks are looking for healthier paydays as a result of stocks, double triggering a reaction of both buyout and time investment. One said their total payout will represent roughly a year worth of income, but there's a catch. Employees will receive 50% of the equity payouts when Sony deal closes 50% over the next few years. So you could tell that obviously there's been problems with Bungie, but Bungie's never been really exposed. So people that talk to Bungie employees at cons and different things, we know different than the actual public knows of what's happening at Bungie. The crunch that's happening at Bungie in the past. This is why they stopped working on the game as much as they did, which is fine. I'm cool with that, right? But then there's also, as you can tell, like kettle talk black over here, right? So Bungie says we don't like the Sony studios because we hear all the nightmare stories about them crunching, yet Bungie themselves did also crunching. So it's kind of weird. Maybe they didn't crunch as much as them. I don't know. All I'm saying is you reported more on PlayStation right now in the convo we having than the gaming media. Well, that's not true, Mo. That's not true. I mean, I'm getting my stuff literally from the gaming media. You'll see in the GDC talk with Bungie Head, he tells all about the secret sauce. I have not seen that, Void. Do you have a link of that? Can you post that in our Discord? That aged like fine wine. Yeah. Bungie just laid off a lot of people because we all know how bad they are with money and expenses. And I still think we don't know, Rose. I still think we don't know, right? They had the $100 million investment from NetEase, right? Obviously, I mean, this should speak volumes of what Bungie is, right? Bungie, I talked about this last night. Those of you that came out last night and watched Battlefield 2042, right? Bungie, we never know what the sales were for Destiny 1. Never knew what the actual numbers were. 10 years ago now. We never knew what the actual sales were. But we could figure out what the sales were based on other people coming out with the sales, because this is still like physical media coming out. Roughly, they sold anywhere between 13 million and 15 million copies of Destiny 1 at full price. 13 to 15 million, unofficial, but basically reading other people that this sold this and this sold this. Well, they were between the two. So it's between 13 and 15 million copies. Okay. That's almost $1 billion of sales. $1 billion. Right? And remember the articles that it cost them $500 million to make Destiny. $500 million, which turned out it wasn't $500 million, but let's just give it to them. $500 million. They made almost $1 billion at launch. Then last night, roughly, I said, let's just give them 5 million units from House of Wolves, Dark Below, Rise of Iron, right? You have the expansions that were like $15, $30, right? $30 for two of them. You sell 5 million of those each, okay? Then you have the expansion that comes out every year that's the $60, and that's another 10 to 15 million units, right? They had so much money, and yet production slowed down for Destiny, right? That they had to put a Eververse store in for Destiny 2, right? Destiny 1 was almost, to me, almost a perfect game. But they had to change it because they knew that they were screwing themselves over because they missed the bar. Okay, so they had to reinvent it. They had to take stuff away, right? They had to put an Eververse store in and then blame Activision that's why the Eververse store was there. They said that because you paid for the Eververse, this is why we made this mission, and that's why we could put this mission in. Even though they made over $1 billion on the base game alone, okay? Without any of the expansions, without any of the season passes, without any of that extra money, just the main game, $1 billion. Okay? They do not know how to manage money. That $1 billion, okay, they could have basically made the entire series of Destiny up to this point. Okay? Because I can guarantee you it hasn't cost them $1 billion for all the stuff they've done for Destiny in 10 years. And even if it did, they've made $60, now $70 every year for 10 years off the major games, and then the 5 expansions for Destiny 2, the 4 expansions for Destiny 1. But no one looks into that. They're like, oh, no, it's good. The company has paid billions of dollars and it immediately lays off people. Give me a fucking break. Yeah. Bungie hasn't made an original game since Destiny. Well, technically, Destiny's not even original because in the beginning, Destiny was supposed to be linked with in the Halo universe. You can see it when you play Halo and you look at the stuff in Destiny. It's like a mirror image of stuff, right? They're also delayed Final Shape DLC and Marathon to the top laying on top of laying off people, right? But they didn't lay off developers, right? Let's be clear with that. They haven't laid off developers yet. Bobby Kotick can save Bungie. It's called From the Xbox Product to Live Service: How Bungie Changed the Industry with Destiny. I'm gonna okay, hold on. From Xbox Product. Okay. I'm gonna look that up and I'm gonna bookmark that. So I think I you know what? I might have watched it. From box. No, I haven't. It came out earlier this year. I have not. Okay. So I marked that. There you go. PlayStation first-party games might be weak in 2024. Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot of first-party title games coming out from PlayStation, but we're still. I know people think we're out of the pandemic, right? We are as people, but the companies are still in that pandemic, right? Working at home. A lot of the games that were supposed to come out in 2021, 2022 were all released now in 2023. That's why we have so many games in 2023. All the games that we got this year were supposed to come out in 2020, 2021, 2022, and 2023. But because they were working at home and it slowed down production, they were all delayed. And it all depends on where they were. If they were on the tail end of their development and they got postponed by 2 years, then they released it, early on in 2021 or 2022, right? But if they were in the middle of production or tail end of production, right? Or I'm sorry, early on in production or mid-production, now the games are coming out in 2023, 2024. Yeah, Helldivers is definitely not a system seller. Isn't it only $40? A fiscal problem. Why can't I scroll down? Okay. Let's see. A fiscal problem with Bungie or Sony course correcting with the recent Microsoft Activision King purchase is the financial problems at Bungie. It could be. It could be based on shifting 60% of their stuff to games of service and all the money they spent in the court cases and stuff like that. I don't know. Plausible. I'm waiting to blame to fall on Destiny 2 players not buying enough microtransactions. Well, they already did that. Too. That's why they said if you did because you bought so many microtransactions, we were able to make these missions. And then they sold for dungeons. Then they sold you dungeons. Oh man. I appreciate it, Void. Sounds like the layoffs weren't that big, mostly communication team. It's not big for the development, Jones, like for studio, like as far as making the games. But there's got to be something there, right? I mean, think about it. Not only did they lay off people, but they delayed Marathon a year, and they pushed back. The final. What is it called? The final shape. 4 months. So it's not like there's nothing going on there. We'll have to wait to get the impact of the layoffs, and the information is all over the place. Hard to get the facts over fiction. Yeah, and right now I think there's only 50 people. We got the composer, we got community managers, we got all that stuff. The fact that they laid off the guy who composed every Halo game and made one of the most famous songs ever is baffling. Well, he worked with Marty as well. Okay, I'm back. My breakfast burrito had my full attention. Oh, I'm delicious. That sounds delicious. I love when I lived in Texas. I don't know where you live, Records. When I lived in Texas, I had a breakfast burrito like every fucking day. I went to like this local I forget what the name of it is, right? I would go to get this breakfast burrito at this little stand on the side of the road. Then I went to another restaurant. Breakfast burrito. It's like two worlds, Mexican and breakfast together. Delicious. Yeah, social media team, community manager team, art department, and music were impacted. I mean, obviously I can look at it and go, art department. Maybe they don't have anything. Maybe they already did all the work. They don't need them anymore. Hence why job security is so good, right? This is why you see 5 people standing around digging a ditch, because if they dig that ditch too fast, then they'll be sent home. Do you know what I mean? In that analogy, right? If you work in the art department in a video game, make sure you're taking your sweet time, right? Make sure you take your sweet time. Best breakfast burrito you ever had was in Colorado. Were you starving, or was it that good? So that's the Bungie stuff. All right. I'm sure we'll hear more stuff as it comes out, as more people leak stuff, because all it takes is one person to come out, an article to come out, and then other people start to come out to tell you, like, the download on stuff. Does this mean that Sony's in trouble? Does this mean that Bungie's in trouble? No. It doesn't mean any of that. I was probably starving. Usually when someone says it's the best thing they've ever had is because, like, you can give me a dinner roll. Actually, I did have a dinner roll. When I was up in New York this past week, I was starving. I ate at like 7 o'clock in the morning. We didn't eat again until like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I didn't have lunch. We went to a restaurant, and they didn't have bread on the table. And I asked without snapping, because I was hangry. I was like, can I have some bread? And they finally brought bread. And when I ate that bread, I was like, yeah, damn, this is the best bread I've ever had, because I was starving. So. Yeah, I think Sony, look, You can't be champions all the time, right? In sports, right? You can't be defending champions every single year. You gotta fall and then build back up. Okay. I'm not a Sony or Xbox guy, but Sony's been leading the charge for years and years and years. Can they have an off year? Yeah, they can. I live in Austin now, but I used to live in San Antonio, and we eat breakfast tacos, gain 20 pounds from it. Yeah. Yeah, that sounds about right. That's where I lived. When I lived in Texas, I was living in Austin, Texas. I ate all the time. I was like, oh man, that's good. All right, let's go to the second story. Second story. If you guys are watching live, I do appreciate you very much. Make sure you hit that like button down below. Helps us out. Small channel. Jones says also with the apparent shift in Destiny deliverables, they might have to finish all the art music for the next year. Sure. You don't have enough time to get things at the store. Go home. You don't like Tex-Mex? It's trash. I mean, I'm sure there's food that someone else likes that you don't like. You know what I mean? I think my favorite food, like, what can I eat every day? I can eat Mexican every day. Not Tex-Mex, but Mexican food. I can eat it every day. Sarge says, those are timeout words, Mo. Take it back. I can eat Mexican every day. I think that's my favorite. Not talking about Alan Woke 2 today. No, what's happening with Alan Wake? Got like a little scratch in my throat this morning. There was a place in Austin, Texas I just had. We were there on vacation. It's down at the Dominion. It's a Mexican place. It was really good. I can't think of the name of it now. It's in the I think that's what it's called, the Dominion, right? Yeah, I think it's the Dominion. It's like a mall outside. There's like a movie theater, and they had the Dirty Bird mini golf course indoors. They had a Mexican place, and I can't think of the Mexican place that was there. Oh god, I'm playing Alan Wake 1, and the combat is killing me. That's the one old school game. That's like what, 13 years old? The Velvet Taco. That might be it. It's in the middle of the plaza. It has like the outdoor, it's got the outdoor seating, and they like call your name like when you go inside there. Like you go in, you order, and you pick it up at the counter, and there's like outdoor seating. That might be it. It might be the Velvet Taco. It's actually pretty good. He's like, no, not the Velvet Taco. The combat in the game is rough, but I'm playing on a normal difficulty. Gamers were built differently 13 years ago. All right, let me get to this next. Let me get to this next topic. What's on, Craig? I used to love Torchy's tacos when they were before they became like a franchise where they're like multiple buildings. Now they're literally building Torchy's Tacos here in Orlando now. There's 2 locations, but I remember getting Torchy's Tacos in the trailer park area. Like, it was just a small little cart that made them. It was lined down the road. It was so delicious. Not the same now. Not the same now. Now they have multiple locations. They've expanded. Quality of food is not as good. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of 30NSG. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about GTA 5 patent hits a Rockstar's most immersive game yet. Before I get to this article, if you like what we do here, please make sure you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, you can hit the membership button as little as $5. We do these Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning in a bigger stream. These are breakout videos if you're watching this after the fact, and I do appreciate you very much. All right, so GTA 5's patent hints at Rockstar's most immersive game yet. Now, Redditor has uncovered a new patent that could make Rockstar game characters way more lifelike. Okay, so in a recent uncover, Rockstar Games patent suggests the developer could be using a technology to make NPCs in this game more immersive, particularly when it comes to highly anticipated action-adventure crime sim GTA 6. As spotted by the Reddit user, Tobble Lobin 30, former Rockstar Games lead AI and gameplay programmer Tobias issued a patent in April called the System and Method for Virtual Character Locomotion. Now, the 11-page document describes on LinkedIn was architected and implemented for games at the Grand Theft Auto and Red Dead Redemption studios. According to the paper abstract, the patent house, the system, and the method of controlling the animation and movement of the game's objects in the layer person's terms, tech should take characters way more lifelike. Detailed patent contains in the Reddit post. Now, quote, based on this patent, it seems like they're using a clever system. They've built a library of small building blocks for characters' movements. These blocks can be combined in various ways to create a wide range of animations, for instance. Think about a character in a game walking in the rain, or feeling tired, or getting injured. Instead of designing separate animations for each of these situations, they use these building blocks to put together a character's movement naturally. This means that Grand Theft Auto 6 can have more diverse and lifelike animations. So when you play GTA 6, you'll see characters moving in ways that they match the weather or their energy level and their injuries. This makes the game feel more immersive. It's like having characters that can adapt to different situations, making the game more real and thrilling. Okay, so immersive can also often have an empty marketing buzzword thrown around ahead of game releases. But when it comes to the patent, the adjective couldn't be more apparent. Based on the tech described, Rockstar Games, particularly Grand Theft Auto 4, should have characters with more dynamic animations, giving the world's unparalleled realism. While Tobble couldn't verify if the system was used in Red Dead Redemption 2, they did say that the animation of Rockstar's upcoming game will be incredible. Okay. Various Reddit users have also shared their reactions to this new locomotion patent, and yet it's going to be mind-blowing. Even the leaks of animation physics looked insane, referring to the leaked development footage from September of 2022. So procedurally animations, nice, equipped with... so basically, if my arm gets hit with a bat, it won't be able to shoot as well. That's kind of cool, they say. Okay. He also says, we will also don't have a definitive release date for Grand Theft Auto 6, despite learning a lot about the game's recent months and years. A plethora of details have been made public, though, including the city of which the game will take place and the characters will also play. All right, so this actually seems pretty cool, right? I mean, why not? why not make a patent, something like this, where if you could do a procedurally generated map and a procedurally generated, right? This seems like a procedurally generated emotion type of thing, right? So they put the building blocks in. So when a character is walking down the street, all of a sudden, you're gonna make that animation that the guy always walks with a limp, or that guy always looks tired, and they just make that like that one character. So now what they're doing is, if it's raining, the character all of a sudden walks with his hand above his head, and maybe a car comes by and splashes him, and then he reacts to the splash, right? So it's more realism happening. Now, a lot of people, we look at this type of stuff sort of like in Red Dead Redemption 2 when they talked about the horse testicles and how the dilation of the eyes and how the testicles would shrink and get bigger based on the temperature in the game. We were like, who cares about stuff like that? But the attention to detail that Rockstar does for video games, if it is your dilation of your eyes when you talk to an NPC, or the horse if it's cold or warm outside, or the destruction of something. Now this is just one step more, right? I don't think we have to have graphics that make it realism, like photorealism, to make it more realistic. I think this is more telling and better for us. So how many of you played Grand Theft Auto, and after you played the game and beat the game, all of a sudden you see one NPC walking and you follow that NPC, right? You see what they're doing. You want to see how they're like living in the world of Grand Theft Auto. So you go follow them and see what they do and see the patterns they do, and you're like, wow, that's pretty good. Well, now it's going to be even more realistic. They're going to have a place to go. We read an article a couple weeks ago talking about how they have, like, they're going to go to jobs and they're going to go to different places. So each character is like living in that world of Grand Theft Auto. And that's pretty cool. I like stuff like this. Most people won't even tell. Like, most people will just play the game, beat the game, put down the game, and they would never know one iota that something like this was happening in the game. People like myself, I like looking at the how packed the building is. Like, procedurally generated stuff I was talking about in Grand Theft Auto 5, how I wish that building over time they would build it up. They would build it. I thought that would be cool if it was during the single player game or the online version. Little things like that immerse yourself in the world that Rockstar builds just makes it better. I think this is pretty cool. What do you guys think about this? Is this no big deal? You're just like, whatever, I don't really care. Or you're like, man, this is really cool. I want to see what they can do with this in Grand Theft Auto 6 and also maybe in future Rockstar games. Let me know in the comments section down below. I do appreciate you for watching. Please make sure you share, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching. Record says Rockstar hired many modders that focus on role-playing. I believe the next GTA is going to be super immersive. I think the regular standalone game for Rockstar Records is going to be amazing. And then the online version is going to be this next mind-blowing thing. Like, I truly believe that what Rockstar does could be more of a meta than what Epic is doing with Fortnite. Do you know what I mean? Like, if think about what Rockstar could do with just the islands they've created already in the games they've already created. With San Andreas, with Vice City, Liberty City, right? With just those, they can do certain things. Even in Grand Theft Auto 5, that one mission, I'm sorry, it wasn't Grand Theft Auto 5, my mistake. In Red Dead Redemption 2, the little mission that you go onto a separate island, I was like, oh, this is definitely this is a test, right? This is a test, right? You go to a place that's more, like island-like Caribbean type of thing. And now all of a sudden, the next game coming out supposedly is supposed to be in Florida, or it was supposed to be in like Brazil or Cuba type of thing. So obviously that was a test, but in the what's the word I'm looking for? In the online world, the immersion is going to happen now that they picked up the role-playing guys. Now that they picked up, they're going to have the universe, basically. This is what their lead said years and years ago, like 6 years ago. He said the next Grand Theft Auto could be like Grand Theft Auto Universe, where all of a sudden now you're taking a plane, you're flying to the next location. Obviously, you could fast travel. But imagine online where you own the house. Maybe you build the house. You can own land or a business inside the game where other people can come, right? Maybe it's like a Second Life, but inside Grand Theft Auto online. I think they see it as a next evolution of a video game. Like, you pay for Grand Theft Auto 6, but Grand Theft Auto Online is going to be this whole separate entity of just constant paying for stuff. It's like real life, but inside their world. Rose says, I do love the they go to the amount of detail, but I honestly, if it all goes to a blind eye with me, I don't look at it, any of that stuff. But if you don't notice it, it's actually, I think, better, Rose, and that makes sense. Like, so if you're watching a movie and you have really good editing or really good acting, you just watch the movie or the show. And at the end, you're like, man, that was really good. Because it all kind of blended together. Nothing like stuck out for you, right? So when you play a game like this, if you don't notice stuff like this, and you're just like, man, that was really good. You don't know why, but just the whole package was just good. That makes it better. Jones says this stuff seems pretty cool. It spends loads of time in that game. If it just plays the campaign, you might not notice it at all. But I think you do notice it. I think you do notice it. You just don't pay attention to it because it's just going to look natural. It's just going to look natural. You ever like when you play Halo back in the day, or I'm trying to think of another game where all of a sudden the NPCs like run by you and they start fighting along with you, and you kind of just sit back and watch them. You're like, wow, this is pretty cool. Like, look at them fight, right? And you're like, wow, the AI is pretty smart. Now, obviously, you didn't read an article about it by going the AI was smart. You just happen to be in the game and go, all of a sudden, it like sticks out to you because in no other game, the AI did what the AI did in that game. And you're like, man, that's pretty good. They're like fighting along. I wonder if I do nothing, if they're going to kill everybody. Like, that's what's happening here, right? You're going to play Grand Theft Auto 6 and you're not going to notice it. You're just going to admire it. I have followed GTA 3 NPCs around at one point. Everyone has. Come on. You're kidding yourself if you haven't. You'd be like, where's that guy going? Like, right? The guy just bumped into you, cursed at you, and you're like, what the hell? And if you didn't kill him at that point, then you just followed him down the street. The AI-controlled Spider-Man when you run into them during a mission are pretty smart. Like, what do they do? I saw some clips. The AI looked pretty dumb. But you're saying they look pretty smart. So what did they do? The older cars and narrow streets. It was a great idea and did a good job in such an old game. Yeah, I think stuff like this is cool, man. I admire when a company and the developers put that extra. Like, how many times did me and Sarge always talk about the amount of trash, right, that's in Division 2. Now, I'm not talking about trash like it's bad. Like, the amount of trash that's in Washington, D.C. as you walk into a room, right? Now, think about that. It's something that most people wouldn't look at because it's just trash. But because someone took the time and made it more impactful for the world to make it look like that, it's more immersive, right? You don't really run up to the trash and like look at the trash and be like, oh man, look at all that trash. But you look at it and go, man, this is fucking good. This is a good map. When you run into the Miles or Peter during a mission, they're already fighting the mobs, and you jump in and help them. Oh, okay. That's pretty cool. So you can run into the other Spider-Man while you're the other. Like, if you're Peter, you can run into Miles, and he's already fighting people. That's cool. So it makes you think, right? It makes you think that, has anyone tried this? Has anyone tried this? I'm sure you have. So in Spider-Man, if I take Miles Morales and bring him to a certain spot and leave him there, and then go get Peter and bring him there, is Miles still there, or does Miles just go off on his own? The reason I'm asking, is it a triggered event, meaning like if I go to the Empire State Building, Miles is there fighting a guy just randomly, but he's there, meaning it's scripted. Or while you're being Peter, Miles is just doing stuff in the city. You know what I mean? Like my brain works like this. When I'm playing Grand Theft Auto, if I leave, Grand Theft Auto 4 is a perfect example, or 5 is a perfect example. When I was Michael in the game, what was his name? Trevor? Was his name Trevor? And Trevor was out in the boondocks somewhere. I was like, is he doing something while I'm doing something? Or is he just dead? Like he's not doing anything. But when you transport to him, all of a sudden he wakes up and he starts beating up somebody, or it makes you feel like he's alive and he's still doing stuff while you're around the world. I haven't tried that yet, but I'm sure if he goes off on his own. But from what I could tell, you can run into the swinging through the city on occasions, fighting random mobs and stopping crimes. See, that's cool. That's cool. Because in Grand Theft Auto, I felt like, again, they could have scripted it this way, but it made it feel like when you were one character and then switched, they could be automatically already doing something. It was almost like if someone was playing them and then you took control of them from them. No, he was there. You can find them. At least inside GTA 5 he was. Find who, Sarge? I'm saying that if you switch them, if I put Trevor in a car in the red truck and then left and went to Michael, would he just sit there in the car I put him in, or is he going to be driving around the city? You know what I mean? The other characters, they're still... See, that's crazy to me, because the world, that means everybody, like, think about that. If Peter's swinging around the city and you're Miles, and while you're being Miles, Peter's still walking around the city, still swinging, still doing stuff, that's pretty cool. Because if he's doing that, then you think that the other NPCs are walking around and they're driving cars and they're walking down the street. Even if you're not seeing them, they're still doing their thing. See, that's crazy. That's cool to me. That's the geek inside me. I'm like, man, that's awesome. Like they're living their life. I know it's a video game, but the technology of letting them do that. Sometimes you would switch in the other characters in the strip club. Right. I think stuff like that is amazing. Squad stealth. Those are things that you don't appreciate, right? A lot of people don't appreciate it. They just play the game, and the immersion like that, they don't really think about it. That's the type of stuff that we're talking about here with the Grand Theft Auto 6 patent that they did, where the characters' animations are just going to be better. They're just going to do something better, and you're never going to notice it, except if you read this article and know that it's in the game, right? Most people are just going to go about their day, and they're not even going to blink an eye and go, "Oh, that's cool. That NPC is doing that." They're not even going to care. Not even going to care. I never did that. I never did that records when I played. I never stole the other guy's car, and he called and he said he stole the car. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Maybe I'll go back and play Grand Theft Auto 5. It's such a good game. Or Red Dead Redemption. Both those games are just amazing. All right. Let's go with the next story. Well, I look forward to playing it. You haven't played it, Tiny? You haven't played Red Dead 2? Oh, it's such a good game. The story is such a good game. All right. I hate these advertisements up here. And you can't get rid of them. And when you make it bigger, they just get bigger. All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of 30NSG. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about 2 months later, Starfield continued performance is kind of unbelievable. This article comes from Forbes, from Paul Tassi. If you like what we do here, before I get to that, please make sure you share, like, and subscribe. We do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning to about noon Eastern. We talk to live chat with these topics. So if you like that, hit that like button down below, and let's get to it. So, with all the near-perfect games out in 2023, I do not believe that Starfield has a shot at Game of the Year at this point. I'm doubting that it's going to make most award show publications the top 5 or 6 list. However, like Hogwarts before it, the performance of this game is really quite stunning, and it continues to be fully 2 months after launch. He says, I was skeptical of Microsoft selling this Bethesda's biggest launch ever with the Starfield in Game Pass, and it was not a huge shock. And of course, we're not going to know exactly sales given the Game Pass inclusion. Now, however, every time I circle back to see Starfield is doing, I'm deeply impressed. This is a single-player game that doesn't have any PvP or co-op or even official mod support yet, like Bethesda other games. And it's also a game that has that with what I would consider to be somewhat hard ending, despite the New Game Plus loop. Okay. It says 2 months later, and Starfield remains the 6th most played game on Xbox, behind a massive multiplayer games like Fortnite, Call of Duty, Roblox, Rainbow Six Siege, and NBA 2K24, and Apex Legends. That puts it ahead of GTA Online, Madden, Overwatch, Rocket League, and even Minecraft on Xbox, which is pretty impressive. On Steam, the numbers are similarly impressive. Starfield is still putting up 50,000 concurrent player peaked at night, which may have remained remarkable steadily. Yes, it's going down over time, but again, we are 2 months into a release of a single-player game here, and we just do not see a performance like this often. If you ever Baldur's Gate is going to be even harder, but PC is this main platform, it's also important to keep in mind that Starfield is on PC Game Pass, so the numbers would be higher if the Steam only had not available for free, if you want to deal with the worst storefront. Finally, the performance of Xbox as a whole, the gaming unit made $3.9 billion in this past quarter, its largest quarter one ever, and it's also driven at least the part of Starfield's performance, where it sparked the single highest day of Xbox Game Pass in the history of the service. Now, part of the quarter's 13% increase in content and service revenue actually offsetting a 7% drop in hardware sales wild. He says, if it's really hard to measure Starfield's success, but because Microsoft Bethesda acquisition and convoluted release strategy, I think Bethesda was still independent, we would see just normal PC, PlayStation, and Xbox sales numbers, and it would be huge. But if you sift through the data, you can see how well Starfield is performing, and if it doesn't end up showed the rewards at the end of the year. Look, a lot of people give Starfield crap, man. A lot of people give Starfield crap. And if you look at this, Starfield is the 6th most played game, and it's ahead of some of the bigger games out there. Sure. Grand Theft Auto, I mean, let's do an impressive number. Grand Theft Auto on Xbox is out for 10 years, and it's number 7 on the list. And Minecraft has been out for 14 years or something like that, and it's number 8 on the list. So it's very impressive that these games are on there. And yes, Starfield just came out 2 months ago. There's games that have come and gone, right? As much, let's be honest here. Can we be honest? Let's get in. Come closer. Let's get closer. Okay, let's be honest. Regardless of what you think Starfield is, it's a good game. Okay, there's people wanted this game. There's no other game out there that was under this much scrutiny. Okay, coming because of whatever reason. If it was because they hate Bethesda, if they hate Todd, if it's because it was an exclusive on Xbox, okay. But Starfield people, I'm still playing it. I haven't played it in 10 days, 11 now because I was out of town. But people are still playing Starfield. Why? Because it's a good game. I feel bad for people that can't play the game, but it's a good game. Okay? And it's much easier to play Starfield than if it was a first-party title. Like, if I want to play God of War, I have to go buy a PlayStation. I don't need to buy an Xbox to play Starfield. I don't need to buy an Xbox. Right? I don't even have to buy a computer. I either have a phone, a laptop, maybe you have a computer, right? Maybe you have a television set that runs the app. You don't need to buy the actual system, and you can still play the game. It's crazy. It's crazy. So, and this is before the DLC comes out. This is before the mod support comes out. People give crap to Bethesda all the time, yet Fallout 76 is still a popular game and people play it. Starfield is a single-player game, and I guarantee you, 6 months from now, people will still be talking about Starfield, and people will look at Spider-Man 2 and go, yeah, it was a good game. And they put the game down because that's what it is. You buy a game, you play a game, you move on. But yet people are still playing Starfield 2 months later because the game is a good game. People will still be playing Spider-Man, don't get me wrong, okay? But more people will be playing Starfield because that's the type of game it is. The proof is in the pudding. People still play Oblivion. People still play Skyrim. People still playing Fallout 76. People still play Fallout 3 and Fallout 4. They're still going to be playing Starfield. It's a good game. People just like shitting on it. These are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comment section down below. Please make sure you share, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Starfield's a great game. Haven't played it in 2 weeks, but it's one of those games that you can go back to, and definitely will be doing so. Yeah, I'm going to go back to it. I was out of town. No, we might play it tonight if I can't get my steering wheel to work for the game I want to play. Go on, Chief. I think it's one of the top 10 played lists on Xbox. Yeah, it's number 6. I'm showing you the list right now. That's what that list is. And look what it's behind. Right? Most of these games are free to play. Robert Jones says, I need some aim assist in Starfield. I can't aim anymore after sucking on the Bungie aim assist. Bethesda put a lot of work into the systems into Starfield. I can see those updates going into other Bethesda games. Oh, for sure. For sure. Look, Starfield, I still can't believe that Starfield doesn't have any side of multiplayer. I'm still going to stick by my guns and think that Starfield a year from now will have some sort of multiplayer in it. I think it will. If that's private servers like Fallout First or something, they're going to have something into the system. I can't imagine they won't. Sooner or later they will. They'll put it in. Because the only reason Grand Theft Auto 5 is up there is because of Grand Theft Auto Online. Okay? I can't imagine 10 years later people are playing the single player of Grand Theft Auto like in masses. I can't imagine that. I can't imagine. I can't think that people are still playing I mean, obviously there's people always playing games. But the masses are not playing Grand Theft Auto single player. There's a co-op mod for Skyrim, but it's PC only. Yeah, that's mod though. I'm talking about actual support though, Sean. Yeah, obviously, there was multiplayer in No Man's Sky before No Man's Sky put it in. I'm talking about actual support. Yeah, Fortnite's free. Roblox is free. Apex is free, right? So you got 3 games that are free on that list. In position 1, 3, and 6. Oh, Starfield's 7th, sorry. A lot of it has to do with the speedrunning community is keeping older titles alive. Look at Mario 64. Who's speedrunning Grand Theft Auto? Is that a big thing? Who's speedrunning? We're talking about the who's speedrunning these games? Someone's speedrunning Fortnite? Someone's speedrunning NBA 2K24? What are you talking about? We're just talking about this list. Did you check out the new successor for Wing Commander? I think it's called Squadron 42. The game looks amazing. Squadron 42 is the story mode in Star Citizen. Water. It's been made for 5 years. Did they finally finish it? It's got like Mark Hamill and a bunch of other actors in it. I'm waiting for the update for Outpost for Starfield. Outposts need a lot of quality of life updates. Sure, yeah. They're still pretty impressive what you can do with Outposts, though. Darth Viper is huge on Twitch and YouTube, and he's a GTA 5 speedrunner. Yeah, but Kylo, do you really think the speedrunners keep games alive? Like, if Asmongold plays a game, Barbie's Dreamland, it's going to be a popular game for that day on the Twitch charts. But we're talking about consistent, like, well, anything helps. The speedrunning community is such a small niche community, and then a niche of the game is even smaller. Asking if Star Citizen is finished is like asking if Bungie's on sale for the company again. Yeah, Star Citizen here. I'll bring it up. Star Citizen, this is what I think is hilarious, right? This thing is still in alpha. So, let's see. Since Alpha 3.0 release, no official release date has been set for Star Citizen, though its alpha component continues to receive updates. Squadron 42 is now a standalone single-player component of the game. Was initially scheduled for the project's initial in 2014 release, but suffered from delays as well. After it missed the 2014 release window, a release window in 2016 was suggested before the project was delayed indefinitely. Okay. In 2018, Cloud Imperium Games announced the plan to enter the beta stage of Squadron 42 development before the end of the first quarter of 2020, but that date was later pushed back to the end of the second quarter of 2020. The beta was later pushed back again to the third quarter of 2020, which passed with no news until on the 10th of October. Chris Roberts stated that it will also have ways to go before we are in beta. As the project continued to delay key features and missed projected deadlines, the media began to suggest the game may become a vaporware and might never be released. Many of these delays were blamed on the micromanagement of the project by the key members of the Cloud Emporium Games and the criticism of feature creep plague of projects. Comparisons made between Star Citizen and Elite Dangerous, another crowd-funded space flight simulation game, announced at about the same time it released in 2014. Okay? So, Squadron 42 was literally initiated in 2014. Okay, so 9 years later. And if you noticed, Star Citizen just announced that they're doing outposts. And why is that? Why do you think Star Citizen is doing outposts now? They never did outposts before, but all of a sudden outposts are out now. Why is that? Oh, because of Starfield. Okay, I find it hilarious because this is exactly what Star Citizen is. We're going to make a space game. Oh, that space game's got something. I want that in the game. Oh, that's doing that. I want that in our game. Right? And they never, ever continue to work on whatever they're working on. They just keep adding stuff to the pile. Okay? And it's never going to get done. Never going to get done. In the better part, Star Citizen, Emporium Games, is like Bungie. They don't know how to spend their money. They don't know how to spend their money correctly. (2012) is when they started. September of 2012. And was later joined on October 18th of 2012 a successful Kickstarter campaign, which drew in over $2 million. No, what I'm saying, Sarge, is they blow the money, but they never finish a part of the game. They never finish part of the game. They're building actual spaceships, yeah. Look, Star Citizen is very impressive looking. But let me kind of bring some games along with you here, okay? And tell me what they all have in common. We have Destiny. We have Star Citizen. We have Ark Survival. And we have The Day Before. What do all these games have in common? That's on purpose? Oh, I know, Void. I don't even have to watch the GDC. I know it's on purpose. Well, that's one of the things, Jones. Early access, right? All these games fall under, it doesn't matter if it's finished, right? If it doesn't matter if it's finished, it doesn't matter if it's early access, beta, gold. These are all of these things, okay, are run by companies or people that they're never going to finish the game. It's never going to be finished. Okay? They're good salespeople that get people on board on their bigger vision, but it's never, ever going to be finished. At least we know that Ark Survival and Destiny are real. Sure, but Ark Survival, how many issues have they had over the years? And now what are they doing with Ark 2? And why are they doing Ark 2? Why don't they just keep making Ark 1 and make it better? Because they're doing what Destiny did, Destiny 2. What's that game, Tiny? Pantheon, Rise of the Fallen. Is that an MMO? Oh, yeah. What makes this MMO stand out? What's the big seller for this?
Hello, everyone. In our newsletter released on 10/26, we shared some information about our new 247 mode to the general public. If you haven't already dug into it, I encourage you to head to pantheonmmo.com to catch up on the details. While today is the first public announcement detailing 247, our VIPs and testers have been experiencing the intensity of this new mode over the last month. While this video will not be all-encompassing of the features of 247, it is my intent for it to instead act as a starter overview, to take a moment to explain some of the key functionality and show it in action. Today, we'll be discussing Tazrin's Gaze, the tower that will act as a hub for organizing your epic loot and skills, as well as where you'll earn favor with the Watchers. From here, you'll teleport into Terminus's open world, as well as where you will return when you're done with your journey, before it's too late. As with anything, stay tuned in to pantheonmmo.com and our socials as we continue to cover more details and updates with gameplay footage
probably
in the
the
future.
show with Lono.
That said, let's get into it.
I don't know what time it starts.
Tazrin's Gaze is your base of operations in 247. Upon starting your journey, you'll begin within the chamber of the tower. Here you'll find your stash, as well as various crafting tables to forge exciting new items to aid you in your survival while exploring Terminus. Opening your inventory, you'll find a torn letter. Welcome.
I mean, this looks pretty standard to everything else I've ever seen for any other
one
MMO.
Of the 11 Watchers. Using a teleporter within the starting room, you'll be taken to the atrium, where the Watchers will reside. Following your torn letter will connect you with the Scavenger, who will give you your first task. These tasks given by the Watchers will enable you to progress a faction system with each one, unlocking new items for purchase and new tasks to further your growth for individual relationships as well as your personal character growth. This includes acts.
I've seen enough. What else we got here? Pretty sure Skull and Bones got another delay into 2024. We know that Skull and Bones is delayed to 2024, but there's also another game that got delayed, right, Jesse? I hope it's not the Star Wars, but oh, do you think they'll announce that, Sean? I think, well, you know what? Maybe they'll announce it, but it doesn't come to Xbox for a while. But I can see World of Warcraft. I've said for years, World of Warcraft's gonna come. As soon as they made the offer to Blizzard, I was like, oh man, World of Warcraft coming to Xbox Game Pass. Yeah, do we know what time BlizzCon starts? I guess I'll look it up. November 3rd and 4th. Dedicated panels of the biggest active titles. World of Warcraft set to lead the events following the opening ceremony. It's a 2-hour ceremony, is it not? Opening ceremony, 11 a.m. Pacific. So that's 12, 1, 2 o'clock, 2 p.m. I don't know if we see anything really. I don't know. See the announcement, but WoW might be around 2025, 2026. Well, they already started working on the control scheme and getting the controls working for it. So I think we see it a little earlier. Even if it's just World of Warcraft on Game Pass, PC only right away. That would be a huge. That would move the needle. Okay? If World of Warcraft, hear me out here. Hear me out here. If World of Warcraft becomes on Game Pass, okay? I mean, how many people are playing World of Warcraft right now? What's the player base? People play World of Warcraft. The estimated daily player count of World of Warcraft to be 1.2 million, with a total player base of 130,453,347. Okay. The daily player count of World of Warcraft is 1 million, 1.2 million people, total players. Do you understand? Do you understand what that would do for Game Pass if they just take your $15 subscription and just put it into Game Pass? They're like, hey, you want to play World of Warcraft on PC? We're integrating World of Warcraft in part of Game Pass PC, and now your $15 you pay a month is just Game Pass. Could you imagine? They're just like, yeah, just take your $15 that you would put into World of Warcraft and just bring it on over here. that would be, they would hit their 100 million mark. Daily players is 124 million or 1.2 million, right? But their total players is 130.4 million. And there's a player base of Call of Duty moving over to Game Pass. Well, Call of Duty, the new ones won't come over right away, right? The older ones, sure. What game is free? World of Warcraft is not free. That's $15. That would move the needle. That would move the needle. I think they'll have a trial like Final Fantasy 14. I'm pretty sure World of Warcraft still cost. Yeah. In the United States, recurring monthly subscription cost for World of Warcraft remains at $14.99. With recurring subscription for multiple months at a time having a slight discount on per month basis, such as a 3-month subscription going down to $13.99 per month before acceptable taxes. Right? So they just take that they just take that $15, okay? And technically, what does PC Game Pass cost? $10, right? So they could raise it. Well, if you just get PC Game Pass, it's $10, I believe. If you get the Ultimate for Xbox and PC, it's $17. Right? Now, obviously, I'm just making shit up here, but I could see them just taking that $15 and throwing it into Game Pass. You could play now. Join us, and you get the other benefits. So if you're just a World of Warcraft player, you're paying the same amount of $15, but now you get to play other games on Game Pass as well for the same price that you're paying just for the one game. That would be a boss move. And that's just World of Warcraft. Right? That's 100. What did I say? 100 and how many members? That's 130.46 million accounts that they have, total players or subscribers. 130 million. It's the #1 MMO that could now be on Game Pass for PC. And then if they brings it to console, forget about it. I'll go back and play World of Warcraft if it comes to console. I haven't played in like 11 years. I played the first like 5-6 years. Yeah, but wouldn't that... think about it, Sarge. Even if it's... I mean, yeah, even if it's percentage. But why wouldn't you do that if you're a World of Warcraft player? If you're paying the exact same amount of money for $15 a month just for that game, why wouldn't you play it for the same thing and you have access to all those other games now? I mean, I don't understand. Why wouldn't you do it? I mean, obviously, if you're a World of Warcraft player, you're only playing World of Warcraft. But if you pay that $2 extra, if you pay the $2 extra, let's say it's 17, right? Let's say you get World of Warcraft, it's part of the Ultimate package. Okay, you pay $2 extra. Now you get World of Warcraft and everything else. That's still a fantastic deal. Potter says, nope, you can keep the Devil's game. Not going back to World of Warcraft, Warcraft ever. I don't know. I don't know, Water. I think you would go back. I think you would go back. If it was included in the Game Pass. It doesn't have to be easy to use, though, Sarge. They literally just came out where you can map your keyboard settings onto the Elite controllers, okay? And they've been working on with them for I think 18 months now with Blizzard to map the controls out for console, and they did it with Elder Scrolls Online. So what would be different? It's the exact same thing. That's crazy if they did that. I don't know if they're doing that, but that would be pretty crazy if they did it. That would be insane. Then here's what you would happen, right? You would get the people like, well, of course they had to put World of Warcraft on Game Pass because they couldn't do it by themselves. Yeah. They couldn't. Right. Final Fantasy 14 is also coming to Xbox, right? And I said a couple months ago, I said Final Fantasy 14 will probably come to Game Pass as well. Obviously, it'll be like free to play, but then you pay money for extra storage or whatever that. Yeah, but Chris, I can see them just because the Blizzard launcher, they obviously there's a lot of work to do behind the scenes or whatnot. In a perfect world, what they could do instead of launching World of Warcraft through the Blizzard launcher, you would just launch it through Game Pass. You know what I mean? But PC Game Pass, not console Game Pass, just PC Game Pass. Like, you don't have to... Technically, you don't have to bring it to Game Pass at all. It could just be a PC Game Pass. They just remove those people from Blizzard Launcher and bring them all over to Game Pass. That's all they have to do. And if they don't want to move the people from the Blizzard Launcher, they just bring Game Pass Launcher into and make it part of the Blizzard Launcher. So your membership, your one membership gets you World of Warcraft and all the other stuff. That's how you move the needle. That's how you move the needle. Microsoft's going to do whatever it makes them to make money. Yeah, of course. Yeah, they do that with the Riot games. Like you can download League of Legends on Game Pass, but it launches the Riot launcher. Then you click on it. Yeah. And think about that. That's all they have to do. Oh, forget about it. When the Riot MMO comes out and whatnot, it's going to be another huge MMO. A lot of people didn't think about that. A lot of people didn't think about that. Yeah, but you bring World of Warcraft, the #1 MMO, like 16 years running. It's longer than that, isn't it? It's like 20 years. When did World of Warcraft come out? In 2004. It's 19 years. It's coming up on 20 years. That's crazy. Jesus. Where did the time go? Robert Jones says, I don't believe in RTS on consoles. Like, you don't believe they exist? Or you just choose not to believe them? Between the deal that they have with Final Fantasy now, or should I say Square Enix, there's going to be a lot of MMOs coming to Xbox. Joe says, I know they exist, but why? It's a fair point. They would play it there because they don't have a PC. That's why. I've been doing research, Sarge says. Next couple of years, RTS is making a big push. The industry has decided they're all releasing the next 2 years. Okay. Well, up until like yesterday you could Eclipse, but unless it's at least on Xbox, if it's not a first-party accessory, you will not be able to use that type of stuff anymore. I'm trying to see if there's any other straight up news that we just got this morning or anything. Right, unless it's a licensed accessory. Right. What I'm saying is if you don't have a keyboard that's, partnered with Xbox, then you can't use it. It's got to be. I'm not sure with all keyboards and mice, Jones. I'm pretty sure from what we read yesterday that it has to be part of the partner program with Xbox. Right, approved third party, meaning It has to be part of the partner program, Mo. It has to be okayed by Xbox to use on the system. Basically, they want to get that money from the people that want to make exclusive, not exclusive, but make accessories for the product, and they want to try to stop the cheating from happening. Oh, I totally forgot. Today's Halloween. RoboCop comes out soon. They're the third, doesn't it? Stop cheating. Well, Sarge, the you were part of the conversation when we were playing with Akuta Papa. He was talking about the Chronos. The Chronos is a thing that you can plug into your system, right? That you can plug into your system and use the mouse and keyboard on console, and then it also does like cheat stuff. So if that was not going to work anymore on the system. You can play RoboCop today if you buy the Alex Murphy edition to get the 48-hour early access. Oh, did you buy it, Rose? Is it good as the demo? Happy Snickers Day. Is that what you like? You like the Snickers? Here you go. 52 minutes ago, Microsoft just put this out there. Xbox Series S starter bundle, $300. $300 gets you the system and 3 months of Game Pass. And if you hit the buy now, let me see. Do they do the payment? The payment thing? Three months of Game Pass and a system, $300. Are you playing it on PC, Rose, or are you playing it on console? No, so basically what happens, Jones, apparently the Chronos is already not being detected. I don't know how it all works. I haven't done my research on it, so I really can't talk much about it. But supposedly those things will not work. But who knows? I'm sure the people that make those devices will make it work again. Who knows? Come on, Chief. 830, what do you think of the new portable screen for the PlayStation 5? Now you can take your big-ass PlayStation 5 with you anywhere you go. Did they actually have a screen for it? I didn't see that. Is that true? Yeah. I mean, Is this what you're talking about? This thing? I gotta pay $369 to put this massive thing on top of my massive PlayStation so I can take it portable? So, for the low price of what we're talking about here, $369 plus the $500, so almost $900, I can take my and be portable now. $900 and I can make it into a portable device. Awesome. Looks convenient, yeah. Just carry it around your shoulder. Portable. You keep using that word. I don't think it means what you think. No, it says portable monitor gaming display. I mean, let's look at the video. Let's look at the video. Yeah, look, he's playing it in the park. You just have to remove the shield and put that on top. There you go. Very, very low profile. No one even knows you have it. Yeah. Let's touch some grass and also play portable. This is the portable screen that you put to your PlayStation. I mean, good for the people that made it. Okay, good for the people that made it. But I hope they make a lot of money. I mean, it's the biggest market. It's pretty pricey though. I have a question. Why can't... I mean, you can literally buy... Hold on a second. Yeah, look. This is ridiculous. You can literally buy a 15-inch monitor, right? 15-inch monitor that you can plug an HDMI into, and just take your PlayStation and this and set this up. Done. For $70. $70. Okay. They're charging you for a 15.6-inch screen $369. Here, I got the exact same screen for $70. And you could take this and put it, you know what I mean? I'm confused. I'm confused. Yeah, one of those screens, it's great. There you go. Got someone that's using the screen that says it's great. Get a battery. I have a portable battery thing that you plug in. Lasts up to 8 hours. about the size of like a SSD drive. Well, look, I have to admit, even this portable screen's a little bit pricey, right? For this thing. This is a bit pricey for what this is. But at least it's $200. But again, you can get another screen. It's the convenient factor. It plugs in and it has all the stuff. The form factor for this is much, but also the S is so much smaller. But again, you could buy just the screen and save yourself. Right? Just take the screen and the thing and bring it with you. I don't know. I'll just take my fucking Switch. It's ridiculous. But people, some people. Wayfinder has its first big content update today. Can't wait to try it out. Is it out yet? Or is it still in alpha? How does it saying go? Build it and they will come. Sarge is right. People buy stuff just because. There's no doubt this will sell. Maybe it won't cover the cost. Look, like I said, good for the people that are making, like a third party making this and it works for the system. Fantastic, right? But if you just do a little bit of research, you can do it yourself for a fraction of the cost. What is this you sent me earlier, Stealth? The Atari thing? I feel like these people that with Atari are like used car salesmen. That they're trying to get people to give them money. Netflix is raising the price again. All right, we got one more story I'll do. What is this one? All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of 30 NSG. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about the finals criticized by actors and devs for using AI-generated voice-overs. Before I get to this, if you like what we do here, we do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning till noon Eastern. hit that like button down below. Hit the subscribe button. We're trying to hit the 2,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And if you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. All right, so the finals is criticized by the actors and devs for using AI-generated voiceovers. Okay, the finals, which is currently trending on Steam after entering open beta, is faced criticism by using the AI-generated voiceovers instead of casting actors. Voice actor who appeared in Evil West, Vertigo 2, and more criticized developer Embark Studios' decision to use AI-generated voices on Twitter. Now, Matrengo said that it sounds into the finals doesn't sound good, but he and other voice actors also highlighted the impact of the AI and the livelihoods of controversial around using it. Now, he pointed out on July of 2023 episodes of Embark Studios' own Meet the Makers podcast, where two audio designers only referred to Andreas and Carl confirmed that used the incredible AI tools to create the voiceovers for the finals. He says, "We used AI with a few exceptions," Andreas said. Also, constant voices like the barks are also both commentators are AI text to speech for things that we call vocalizations, vocal stations, like players breathing, vaulting, jumping, and something to use the studio to record, just grunting. We can't really get the AI to perform those kind of tasks yet. So Genshin Impact, Dying Light, and Ghost Runners 2 hit Harris's slammed his statement on X / Twitter. He says, quote, what really sticks with me is that they need to bring in real actors to get the grunting effort and the breathing sounds because the AI can't do it. The voice actor said, and it can't replicate the noise that makes when we stand up from a chair, but it also wants to take my job, don't make me laugh. It was also criticized that Lovelock, who appears in Baldur's Gate 3, Wargrove, and more, the kicker is the sounds like crap regardless of how realistic they think this sounds, she said on Twitter. Gearbox Software narrative director Sam Winker shared a similar message. Quote, shipping content with AI voice over is bad, flat out, he said on Twitter. Especially for a game that has so clearly polished every other aspect of the presentation from the gleaming finish, this sticks out like an affected thumb. So Embark Studios, Andreas defended the finals using the AI voice over the podcast episode. However, the reason that we go the route with AI text-to-speech is finally extremely powerful, he said. It gets us far enough in terms of quality to allow us to extremely reactivate to the new ideas that keep things really, really fresh. He says, quote, for instance, if a game designer comes up with a new idea for the game mode, we can have a voiceover representing that in just a matter of hours instead of months. We don't have to do temporary recordings that need to be replacing. I think that we're really coming into the new dawn when it comes to video game voices. And this is the sound of a bit off, but it still blends kind of well with the fantasy of virtual game shows. Okay, so he points out that Andreas uses it far enough into terms of quality as damning statement and refund the idea of implementing voice actors takes months. Okay, quote, we are constantly banging out rush order sessions for like within a day or two, he said. And you literally get to pro grade voiceover and less than the grade total, bang out a couple of recording sessions, and then bam, you have the audio you need. He also continues to say, when you need more, you can book another session. It actually makes it very easy. And it's just that it sounds as good, not by something even players who don't really care about the AI authentics keeping complaining about. So somewhat ironically, Embark Studios also has been making the final series on YouTube, which is also an episode dedicated to capturing authentic sounds. IGN also reached out to Embark Studios for comment. That's pretty funny. I like how they have a video series about making the sounds like the guns and stuff, and yet they're giving the sounds of the voices to AI. Beautiful. Beautiful. The use of AI video games has been hotly debated and controversial topic of late, even coming from the center of the Screen Actors Guild, American Federation of Television and Radio. The Guild also voted on September of 2023 to authorize a strike as part of the resumption of bargaining over the Interactive Media Agreement, which governs voice motion capture and other voice actors working with video games. While this doesn't mean a strike is currently happening, it does mean that the SAG-AFTRA negotiators have power to call on one. Negotiations continue to stagnate. It says, we want to ensure that we don't replace all the humans with computers, interactive negotiation committed members, but not prohibit on it. We also, moving forward the technology, and how do we move it we not get left behind. We're having the argument now specifically about these AI algorithms and also wiping out large portions of the workforce. And so if we lose that and we set the precedence of corporations to remove lower levels of the workforce using algorithms, then into other workforces on the planet, then there's also could be disastrous results of economy and society as a whole. Very true. It's more than just typing in and making a voice. There's repercussions to this, right? So the biggest developer to use AI voiceover so far is CD Projekt Red. Thought it was the only done and replaced the decade voice-old actor gathering permission from the family. We talked about this story a couple of weeks ago. I said that's the catalyst, right? It's just going to get more and more. The finals that uses AI certainly hasn't made the game any less popular, with the open beta clocking in at peaking at 267,000 concurrent players on Steam in the first week available, according to the data from SteamDB. All right. So it's made up of ex-DICE developers who work in Battlefield series, a team-based first-person shooter, even if its player capacity within a few days. So what do you guys think? Do you think this voice acting for the game, obviously, they can't make the grunts and sounds. So like us standing up on the chair going, ugh, or hopping over something going, like that type of stuff. The computer can't do that, but it can make the sound effects of actual voices, right? All you need is small little bits and pieces, less than 3 minutes, and you can take my voice, right? I'm screwed, right? There's thousands and thousands of hours of my voice on the internet. I'm screwed. Someone's going to take my voice and they can do whatever they want with it. I'm not giving permission. I'm just saying that's what they can do, right? Because I have so much, voice to break down. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens. And again, the finals is doing it with voice actors. CD Projekt Red did it with that one voice actor because they were trying to, the person passed away. They wanted to do the dialogue. They asked the family. That's a completely different scenario. There's no one to ask here, right? The finals is just putting AI, and it might be time-saving for them, right? Because maybe they want to do the dialogue. But the question is, should they be able to use the algorithm to make the final product? Maybe I'm just saying, maybe there should be a rule put in place where if you use AI, you can use it to sort of like storyboards, you know what I mean? Where you could just make storyboards. You don't need to hire an artist to make a storyboard for you. You can, but you could just make stick figures on a piece of paper so you can plan out what your shots are in film, okay? And the director or the person does the dialogue just to do it, right? Also on the film set, instead of having a major actor come in to read the lines to somebody else, if it's a voice acting, I read the lines to the person for the person that I'm paying to react to, right? I'm not going to pay more money to have Chris Pratt come back in to read the dialogue to the other person. Do you know what I mean? So there's ways around it, certain things, and this is on a slippery slope here, in my opinion, because if you could use the AI voice of Snoop Dogg, because he's AI, and now I don't ask Snoop Dogg's permission, I just use the AI to use Snoop Dogg in the video game. Now Snoop Dogg doesn't know because the video game is not popular, but then it becomes popular, and then Snoop Dogg knows his voice and the thing is like, wait a minute, I didn't do anything to put my voice in there. There's going to be a line crossed, right? So where do you draw the line? What's right? What's wrong? Should voice actors still do voices? I believe so. But as far as the development process, if they want to use the algorithm, the AI, to make the voices, to fill in the gaps until the final person comes in and does the final reading, those are just my thoughts, right? So let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Like I said, these are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comment section down below. Please make sure you share, like, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching. Doesn't the voice have to come from somewhere? The AI can't just make up the voice, right? It does need to be fed something. But if you could take bits and pieces of someone's voice, it doesn't mean you use the entire voice. I will not give Disney a fucking stolen dime, another pedo bust involved in personal. I'm done with Disney. Fuck Disney. Okay? Can't wait to allow AI voiceover characters that are humans should be calling the Voice Actors Guild. I can't wait for the AI voiceover characters that are humans. They should be calling the Voice Actors Guild. Right, have the Voice Actors Guild call the guild. Is that what you're saying? Hope all the artists sue every company and use their voices, sue them bankrupt. I didn't notice the voices were AI. Well, there you go. Start to copyright the voices and sue them into oblivion. Well, you have to protect yourself, right? And let's just say you don't need to be voice acting, right? I could be a developer, to answer your question, Jones, right? It doesn't have the voice, but I could just be a developer, but I don't know how to act. But I could just talk into a microphone. I can read a sentence from a book. It takes that footage, that sounds, and then it can make it into its own voice. So they don't even need to pay anyone anymore. I was on Facebook, and they have those lame videos where you can get free $5,600 a month scam, of course, and now they have The Rock's voice doing the scam. Some of these idiots are now hating The Rock. Yeah, see, it becomes a major problem. It's scary. It's scary. I think I don't want to talk politics at all, but someone posted a story in our submitted stories here, and I think right here, yeah, U.S. President Joe Biden signs executive order to protect Americans from AI. Now, I don't know if that has to do with AI systems. I don't know if that has to do with voice or not. It probably does, because I know he got yeah, see, AI fraudsters can take a 3-second recording of your voice and do something with it. So they're gonna have to do something about this. I mean, they are. Sure, Jesse. I mean, the AI is gonna get so big. Okay, look, we can make procedurally generated games. We can have procedurally generated voices. You can make all the stuff you want, but you'll push a button. At some point, you'll be able to go to ChatGPT, ask you to make a code for a game, and then it will make a code for the game and do the voiceovers and everything for you, and all you did was push a button. I think the tech is pretty cool and can help out small devs for sure. Yes, I can see that, 76. And here, I'll put it in a perspective, again, of the film industry. Back in the day, you couldn't make a movie because you didn't have cameras. You would have to go find a beat-up old 8mm camera. There was tricks of taking 16mm film and filming it on one side and then flipping it and putting it on the other. So you had like double your footage, right? So, and then you would split the film down the center. Well, to edit that, I would have to go to an edit house. Someone that actually could splice and edit stuff together in a dark room and whatnot. Then we come into the digital stage. And digital cameras make it easier to film to film. But then the bays that you have to rent from were tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars to edit the digital stuff in the room. But then they made Final Cut, and then it was like $300, and then it got better and cheaper. So technology helped the smaller people to make stuff. Right now, your feature films are being made off your cell phone. This, I don't know, is in the same vein, right? Sure, you're an independent. Maybe I'm a 1-2 man studio. I can't afford voiceovers. I don't do good voiceovers. So I just put my voice in a computer system and then take that computer system and make other voices. And now I can have a whole array of sounds and actors and males and females, all between me and my wife, right? We make all the voices and make AI do all the voices based on our voices that are manipulated. That helps out, but it also takes away jobs, right? So it's like, where does that line get crossed and drawn? When I go to a different tax bracket, now that I'm a higher publication, or now I made more money and now I have 5 employees or 10 employees and now I make more money, now I have to buy voice actors, or can I still just use the AI? Right? You know what I mean? It's like, what do you do? So now you look at people losing their jobs because of whatever reason, right? Factory workers, video games, procedure generation, AI, voice. It helps out, but there's got to be some sort of stipulation. There's got to be like, maybe a percentage of voices have to be real voices compared to AI voices. There's got to be some sort of rules put into place. Otherwise, it all goes out the fucking window, in my opinion. Yeah, make a fake video with fake people and voices. Yeah, they're like, okay, so for instance, working on a film, again, I always make these comparisons in the film industry because that's my experience. If you work on a union film, you don't need to have every single person on the film union, okay? You have to have a certain amount of percentage. So for like every 10 people, you have to have one person in the union. So if you have one in the camera department, one is the director, one is, right? You have 30 people working on the film, you only have to have 3 or 4 people that are in the union to be considered union, right? And then the people, once they work on a union project, they get to make a choice if they want to work on a union project and pay their dues and join the union. Maybe they put a stipulation in something like that where, let's say a game like Cyberpunk, they have, 30 characters. Maybe 10 of those characters have to be voiced by real people and the rest of them can be voiced by AI. I don't know. But I think there's got to be something. Otherwise, there's not going to be any voice actors. You're going to have a voice actor record his voice once in a system, and they'll use that voice for eternity. This is what's happening with Disney right now. They had people scanning their faces, and then in the background, for extras, they use their faces forever, right? That's some scary shit. Have you seen the background talent on? This is real. Look at this. This is real. This was in a movie. This is from a cheerleading movie or something on Disney Plus. Okay. Look at the second row. Look at the second row. Right? This is just blatant because this was on the screen for maybe 3 seconds. Right? Maybe they wanted some more diverse people in the crowd that they couldn't get. Right? This is AI. 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 This is real. These are real people, but let's say there's actual people in the third row or second row. So someone actually had to go back. One guy in a room had to go back and delete all the people in the second row because maybe they were all white, right? Because that's the extras they had. They paid those extras $2 or $250 to show up that day, $100, whatever it was, okay? And then during the show, they went, oh, well, not enough diversity. Not enough diversity. So now they put the checklist down the row. I mean, look, they did. This looks like a Spanish girl. This more looks like a Middle Eastern woman. This is a black kid. You got an Asian woman. And then you got a white girl. And then you have, a Milano guy, right? Check. And they're literally NPCs. Look how bad they look. But I guess it's okay, right? It's okay. Right? It's terrible. I watched a YouTube video of a president playing Spider-Man 2. Don't know if they were using AI voice or deepfake voices. So funny to hear Joe Biden. Oh, yeah. I saw the one with Minecraft. Jesse, where Donald Trump and Joe Biden and Obama and I forget who else were playing Minecraft. For stuff like that, it's funny, right? Right. What do you mean old Madden games? Yeah, it does look like regular Madden games of today. But isn't that crazy? I mean, we're speaking of voice acting, right? And this is visual. You can see that this is bad. And you should have saw them move. It looks even worse. The AI looks like Starfield characters. Yeah, the background talent. Yeah, because that's what it is. Just like in a video game. The difference in a video game and a movie is you can't walk up to the AI in the video game, right? In a video game, you can walk up to them and go, oh, God, that looks bad. They're supposed to be just background talent. It's supposed to be people in the background. You're not really supposed to interact with them. Yeah, Stealth, I watched it. Right? But that goes in a completely different, right? These people in the back, that takes money away from extras, that takes money away from the editors or whatnot, right? Someone great. So the editor that's there is not editing, but now they just put NPCs in the background, right? So you're not paying the editor, but now you're paying a visual designer. But there's no extras in the background. That's 7 people that they just saved money on. Oh, for sure, Posse. Right? For sure. It's fun until someone gets poked in the eye. Right? It's that whole saying. It's all fun and games until someone gets hurt. Here, let me show you a wider picture of what this was. Right? Let me show you a wider picture. Right? This is the whole scene. Right? They literally just put him in this row right here. Nobody else. Everybody else here is real. It was just when they zoomed in on that one, like, why? Oh yeah. Quick is an understatement. 76. I told you, exponentially, man. Exponentially, this stuff's gonna get faster and faster. I mean, have you seen some of the pictures of how AI generates the human? It's insane. And the voices that can do it, it's insane.
As a proud native of Ireland, I bring a robust Irish accent to your storytelling, perfect for capturing the spirit of Irish tales, folklores, or simply adding an authentic Celtic touch to your projects.
Right? That's AI, man. That's AI. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see how long this takes.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to 30 NSG. I am your host, Michael. On today's show, we are talking about Microsoft.
Like, do you see how crazy that is? You could tell a little bit that it's a robot, right?
Hello, everyone. Welcome to 30 NSG.
That
I am
sounds
your
more
host,
robot.
Michael. On today's show, we are talking about Microsoft.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to 30 NSG. I am your host, Michael. On today's show, we are talking about Microsoft.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to 30 NSG. I am your host, Michael. On today's show, we are talking about Microsoft.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to 30 NSG. I am your host, Michael. On today's show, we are talking about Microsoft.
Clyde.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to 30 NSG. I am your host, Michael. On today's show, we are talking about Microsoft.
Dave sounds like an asshole.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to 30 NSG. I am your host, Michael. On today's show, we are talking about Microsoft.
Let's see Harry.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to 30 NSG. I am your host, Michael. On today's show, we are talking about Microsoft.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to 30 NSG. I am your host, Michael. On today's show, we are talking about Microsoft.
You see what I'm saying? Wow, I can't tell if it's 30 or AI. But my point is that you could literally learn. I could learn or teach and do it, you know?
There is no greater harm than that of time wasted. 每一次失败都是通往成功的另一次尝试。
Like, that's insane.
Love has no age, no limit, and no death.
Let's go with Thomas.
Love has no age, no limit, and no death.
Sounds like he's singing there. All right, let's go with Michael.
Love has no age, no limit, and no death.
That sounds pretty good too. AI co-host. It's not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea. I just have a conversation, know what I'm going to ask, and then boom, already have a copy paste, and then have that happen. We might do that. Maybe what I'll do, maybe I'll have a commentary of two people bantering back and forth during my football games that I put on Sundays. Yeah, maybe we'll do that, 76.
Born and raised in the charming South, I can add a touch of sweet Southern hospitality to your audiobooks and podcasts.
With a soft and whispery American accent, I'm the ideal choice for creating ASMR content, meditative guides, or...
Hailing from the historical city of London, I am here to lend a sophisticated...
बस कल्पना करो दोस्तों, एक त्योहार जहां पूरी दुनिया नृत्य भोज... बस कल्पना करो दोस्तों.
It's pretty crazy. It's insane how that is, right? And we're talking about something that we have at the fingertips of our hand, right? Put some dialogue in, record that thing, and we're done. I think I think there needs to be some sort of... I don't want to stop it completely. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think it needs to stop completely. I just think it needs that main actors still get work. And then if you want to put voice actors in the background or talent and stuff like that, something along the lines of that. Dude, audiobooks should be so much cheaper than they are. But see, that's the thing, right? If I'm doing an audiobook and I'm Dwayne The Rock Johnson voicing my own thing, I'm going to make money off of that. But if I could just use the Dwayne The Rock Johnson's voice for my audiobook and not pay him, that's wrong. Get an AI like Skyrim mod that responds to what you say. Well, that's what's happened with that guy who got sued, or not sued. He got told to take it down from Rockstar from Grand Theft Auto 5. He made a mod where you can interact with the AI that was talking back to him, and they put a kibosh to that. As a singer-musician, this is still not as good, but most people don't care. Here's the thing. There is a program that makes people sing. Let me see if I can find it for you. I'm not saying it's like AI voice here. Sing generator, voice swap AI. Let me see.
No other man loves you, girl.
No other man loves you, girl. The way that you change my world. Really do something to me. The way that you move your body.
Right? That's one way. That's one way to do it without, like I actually sing and then it changes my voice. Then there's this one.
I'm Henry, and I'm a male voice from the United States. I can help narrate your voiceover project with clarity and authority.
Some of them
Hi,
sound
my
like
name
robots.
is Christy, and I'm a female English voice. I have an engaging tone that's perfect for your next announcement, e-learning, or even documentary.
Hello, I'm Davis, and I'm a male voice from the United...
Yeah, hold on. There's one that lets you sing. Let's see.
La 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 la.
All right, let's see. Can I type in something? Let's go with that. Singer.
La la la. La la.
Holy moly.
Nani nani. La 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 la. Nani nani. Holy moly.
All right, we're gonna go with her. Okay, now we need to write some lyrics. So let me go to. I need to go to ChatGPT real fast. We're definitely going down the rabbit hole, kids. That's right. That's what we do here. Okay. Give me a song about video games. Now I don't know how much I can put in here. Let me see. Can I put in this? In the land. All right. Okay. So we're going to do that with Chloe. Here we go. Create song. Almost there. Damn it. I gotta sign up or log in. Let's do this. Okay, here we go. Let's hear what this... Don't even know what the lyrics is. I literally typed in a chat GPT, make a song about video games. This is the first verse. By Chloe. Let's see this remix right here. This could be the next big hit. Come on. Come on, Chloe. Get your shit together.
Verse 1. In the world of ones and zeros where pixels come to life, I'm a gamer on a journey in this digital stuff with a controller in my hand and a headset on my right attitude. The virtual where there's nothing left. The chorus we're chasing is coordinate. World so vast in the land.
So the verse was, in the world of the ones and the zeros, where pixels come to life, I'm a gamer of journey in the digital strife with the controller in my hand and the headset on my ear, and I dive into a virtual where there's nothing left to fear. That's the lyrics it came up with. I gotta change Chloe. Let's change Chloe here.
La 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 la. La 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 la.
Oh yeah, that's what we need right there. Yeah, that sounds more upbeat. Let's pick him. Oh, it won't do any more than that, huh? All right, well, let's... The song speaks to me and my gamer people. It sounds like the beat to the music, I think, doesn't match the cadence of the lyrics. Yeah, but the whole point of this, Chris, is that within seconds, I went to an AI program, got the lyrics, and then throw it into an AI program for them to sing it. You know what I mean? Within seconds.
In the world of ones and zeros where pixels come to life, I'm a gamer on a journey in this digital strife with a controller in my hand and a head.
Do you know what I mean? Like, you can't look at this and go, I literally did nothing. All I did was copy, paste, and insert. Did nothing. Absolutely nothing. Like I said, it's got a lot to go, but people don't care. The thing, Z, is that, sure, the tool itself, if someone wanted to take time, if I wanted to take time and make a song, the human aspect of it still has to fix it, right? But for someone that's doing something for a video game, for a film, for something, and I don't have the access to record multiple people, I can get someone's voice and I can adjust it to make it more realistic at a fraction of the cost and time. But you did something. I didn't do it myself. Yeah. All I did was copy paste. This is an AI program, and the more people that use this program, okay, or use ChatGPT, it learns exponentially faster, right? I don't know if any of you guys own a Tesla, okay? I don't. I was in a Tesla this past week. The car drives itself. To fathom that I'm living in a world where we have Johnny Cab from Total Recall in the world today, people look at that and go, that's insane. And the more people that have a Tesla and the more people that drive around the world, that gets better, exponentially better. So for someone to say that, it's not good yet, sure, it's not good yet. Right. And that's the thing, man. It doesn't affect all of us, but if you are a singer and someone's like, dude, I got this great song I want to do. Can you do it for me? You're like, oh, yeah, I need a little bit of compensation or something. They're like, I don't have anything. And they're like, you know what? Never mind. And they go to Ed here. They go to Ed here and make a song. It's insane. Even that first program, though, the first program that we saw, where this guy wasn't even, he just sang. He didn't sound like he had a great voice. And then to switch it into another girl's voice, that's insane. Oh, the Honest Conference? Yeah, I watched that and the BlizzCon one too. Very good stuff. Very, very funny. It gets weird when you look at it, who owns the work the model is trained on. For LLMs, train the public forums, comments, etc. online is not an issue. Stealing someone's face/voice is wrong, obviously. Right, but where, like Joan said, someone has to record. Like, the guy that we just heard had to be recorded by somebody, and they use his vocal cords as the basis of it. That's happening now, 76. Instead of, being made, people are writing. Like the people that write books and stuff, they're finding out that they're not even being written by the people that they said they're writing. They're just going to a chat GPT, and there's a program to see if it was made by AI or not. There's certain things, look, there's certain things that I don't think a robot will ever be able to do. I say never, but there's going to be a time, like when someone sings or paints, there's just that attachment we have. But I guess there'll be a time, maybe, I mean, pictures you can't tell if someone painted them or if they're AI generated. I don't know if there'll be an AI at some point that'll be so good. Maybe someone's done it. Maybe someone will do it. Maybe someone has a #1 hit on the charts that's not even a real person. That'd be interesting to find out. That would be interesting. My brother's an English teacher. He uses the ChatGPT to grade papers. AI is writing and grading all the work the kids are supposed to doing in school. Yeah, but is he checking to see if it's work? Like, if it's... See, that's crazy to me. So does he scan the picture in and then put it into ChatGPT to see if it's right? I guess if you set it up, it'd be like making a production line where it's just faster for you. Yeah, this is 1 month ago. This guy makes a video.
Have you ever wondered if your voice would sound like a great singer, but when you think about reality, it's my life, it can be disappointing. But what if I told you there's an amazing AI tool that clones your voice into a song, making it sound like you sang it in your own voice? Sounds interesting, right? So today, I'm going to show you how you can convert any song into your own voice. And the coolest thing is, it's completely free and easy to use. Okay, I'm Brian from Website Learners, and let's get started. The first step is to train your voice model.
Train your voice model.
Let's click train.
Right? See? You got to put
And
your
now,
thing. So you're
give a name
already
for your voice model without
you're
any-
already giving up. You're like, oh yeah, I want to sing. And you're like, you give your voice. You give your what you're supposed to do.
spaces. I'm going to enter Brian-voice, then upload your sample voice, and make sure the recording is clear and should not have any background noises. Hey,
all right, separate the vocals now.
You will notice that this song is complete with vocals and background music. However, for this process, we need to upload only the vocals so that we'll get better results. So let's go to the second step where we'll see how to separate the vocals from the music. To do that, we're going to use a tool called Vocal Remover. So just click the link below this video and it'll take you to this website.
All right,
Let's
convert
go
the
to
song into your
final
own
step,
voice now.
which is to convert the song into our own voice. So let's go to this tab, then drag the song's vocals and drop it here. Once it is uploaded, click on convert, and you can see that we have got our output. Now, if we click play, a club isn't best place to find a lover, so the bar is where I go. Me and my friends at the table doing shots, tripping fast and talk slow. I'm over and
I
start
bet
up
this
a
guy's
conversation
AI.
with just me, and trust me, I'll give it just now and some and stop the plan the man on the jukebox, and then we start to dance, and now singing like, girl, you know I want shoulder. It is actually pretty amazing. It cloned the voice.
Like, do you see how crazy he just taught the AI his voice, and now his voice took that and made it into the song of Ed Sheeran.
And converted the shape of your song into my own voice. Nice. Own voice. Now in the future, let's say you want to do the same thing but for another song. All you have to do is just go back to this tab. Then similar to how we cloned the previous song, we need to click on the second link. And here you can start the process of cloning the song. Now if we click here, you can see that we don't have any voice model. Since we have already trained the voice model, we don't need to train it again. Directly we can just upload the trained voice model which we have downloaded. So if we open this file explorer, you can see the trained voice models. So before we upload, first we need to compress these files. To do that, let's select these files, then right click on it, go to send, and click compress. Now we can now upload the zip file to our Google Drive. So let's go to our drive and upload it. Click on share, click on download model, and paste. We have got a trained voice model. You can just select it, then upload the song and convert it into your own voice just like we did before. So that's it, guys.
That's crazy. It's crazy. Won't need singers that trained all their lives to be good. No. And again, it doesn't affect everybody until it does, right? Won't need actors to invest in thousands of education for acting. That's right. Won't need game devs to took their jobs of grant for decades. That's right. AI is saving the planet. Now you're getting it, boss. That's right. AI is saving the planet. One job at a time. It's coming to save us all, to give us more time to do stuff. In all seriousness, though, when it comes to reality, just let the AI make the games. The past 2 decades, humans have proven to fail at gaming. Yeah, AI is just going to give you more time to do stuff with your time in life. AI still can't sell me my daily Starbucks. Yet, Tiny. Yet. Pretty soon you'll walk into a Starbucks and there won't be anyone to say hi to you. It'll be an AI robot back there. But it is pretty cool, right? It's cool. It's interesting. But at the same time, I think there needs to be parameters. That's all, right? That's all I'm saying. There just needs to be a little protection because we're doing this to ourselves, right? We're doing this to ourselves. Like, for instance, look at Instagram. The people that take their pictures and they put them on the thing, and it's like, take a picture of yourself now, in the past, and whatever. And I'm like, people are just taking your identity. Like, seriously, just taking your identity. But people are like, oh, it's so cool. Look at the filters. Like, they do all that stuff because they just do it. There's no thought process of someone's going to do something bad with this. Editing photos. Have you guys done this yet? This has been a lifesaver for me because before this, I would have to edit and erase all the stuff, right? Okay. There's the pumpkin I created, right? All I do is take my finger, right? You see how it highlighted there? You see that? Now this pumpkin is free. Okay? Now I take that and hit copy. Right? Now I have a blank page, right? I hit paste, and now it's in there. And now my pumpkin has no background. That fast. Okay? So when I make my thumbnails and stuff, that's how I do it. Super fast. I'm like, I just need that background out. Take that thing. Take that picture. Grab that thing. Put it over. Done. Right? AI has its benefits of stuff. Okay? But if everybody's using it, and no one's a voice actor, and no one's an actor, and no one's a singer, and no one's a thing, like, what happens? We'll all have plenty of time to be in the meta and do nothing. And that's where we'll leave it. AI is the solution and cause of all problems. Yeah? Everything becomes easier. You have more time to do more stuff. I have more time to surf YouTube and whatnot. We will make sure you get your virtual members and audience ASAP. I think all of you are bots. I can't even tell if you guys are real. Maybe I'm fake. Who knows anymore? But that'll do it for me this morning. I appreciate you guys coming out and hanging out with us. We do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning till noon Eastern. Tonight, I'm going to try to play Alaskan Trucker. It's a PC game. Came out a couple weeks ago. I got to get my steering wheel set up. If I can't get that set up, we'll play something else. But tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, we're gonna play some Alaskan Trucker. We're going to try it. Okay? Other than that, appreciate you very much. Make sure you hit that like button down below. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, you become a member as little as $5. We do uploads, we do podcasts, we do live streams, we do gameplay, lots of stuff on this show. Appreciate it very much, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.